entities today because I just realized when I counted that I only have 15 of them to do. So I thought, why not spread them out a little? Because last time I kind of just described them, but this time we need to like go into depth. So that way when it comes to like pixel, these also have a lot of like possible different names, but it will still be going by habitat, as in like brick by brick, the same way the top, the habitats went. So the first batch of entities is like the common grounds and the waterways and so on. And the first one is the ones I like to call like ceiling snakes. So with what I call the ceiling snakes, I came up with an idea, like instead of a snake hunting on the ground, what if it came down from above and that started freaking out everybody? It might be good to make a few more entities, one that are specific to other areas, like maybe a rail hub only entity. Maybe a mimicked residence only entity. Maybe. I'm not sure though. Because there are a few that are classified as found everywhere, which means they can also be found in those places. So I don't know if they need an entity that's like exclusive to there only. It's like a mix of a beetle and a turtle. Wall dogs! Isn't that a fucking name? This one creature is just like a weird ass bear. But it's not. I realize I'm gonna have hell when I try to draw these. Like the game sprites, maybe not so bad, because I saw like a tutorial, which reminds me, keep it fucking simplified. There is a tutorial where I explained that before you make an entire animation, break down the thing into shapes, make an animation using those shapes, and then put details on it. So do that. Do that. Break everything down into like shapes. And then add all the details. Probably should, but before that though, make like drawing entries, probably. Last one for today. Rusties. So today, 5 more entities. These ones should be easier because, yeah, these 5 are easier because they're like the passive ones. So the scooper is like a crab mixed with a crocodile and a gecko. With a scooper, imagine you took an alligator and a crab and mixed those together. That's what the scooper is. Most of these entities, what I did was I rolled like real animals to mix them together. For most of them. Some of them not so much. I just kind of was like, what is a creature that would fit in this environment? That is like wildly different than anything else we've seen. You got the real mixed in with the real into a weird freaky creature, and then you just have creature. I was trying to think of another one, because what I wanted to do was have, for most of the habitats, have at least some type of creature. Like for common grounds and waterways, they have a kind of amount of creatures. Mimicked residents, rail hubs, echo cavern. Those have a few. Most of them you can find anywhere. Therefore, because they're meant to be the more peaceful stuff. And then with like Zen Zone, it's all peaceful. So there's only like 3 creatures there. Most of them are passive. One of them is technically a carnivore, but it only goes after the other 2 and rarely attacks outsiders. And if it does, well, it's because you provoked it. But one of the creatures I ended up making is a parasite in the waterways. It's a dark gray to match the tile grout in between. But wouldn't it make more sense if they were like a porcelain color to blend into like the bathtubs and sinks? Wouldn't that be smart? I'm gonna use that. The next one is gonna sound stupid, but I kind of like them. They're called living stones because these creatures are think of like sloths. They're so slow and almost lazy that they're like moss and grass grows on top of them, and because they have a gray coloration, they look like stones. Originally, Zen Zone was always outside, but originally its outside was mimicked because like the walls are screen LEDs or something. But all the floor was also plastic. So grass, trees, flowers, all of it was plastic. Or recreations. But now that I have creatures, there's a question of like, do we make at least the grass real? It makes sense if the grass was at least real, right? They're called walking trees. They're also found in Zen Zone. But the way they work is tend to be a tree. But not in the sense of like stick bugs, or it's also not like a tree skinwalker either though. Like that one fucking tree from like Faith. Think of like an elephant, but stretch it out way too fucking tall. The tree forms. Kind of like a mix of a bull and a big cat. I'm not gonna specify which big cat, but like a big cat. Because I do want some kind of carnivore in the Zen Zone, because otherwise the other 2 creatures would get really everywhere. So we need something to get rid of them.